I just felt this really bad tightness in my chest, but not like a heart attack tightness because I could feel my arm did not go numb or anything, and I'm still alive and my heart's still beating and all that. But it also didn't feel like it was probably just a cramp, all things considered. One thing you should know about me, Jack, is that I am prone to lung collapse.
Oh,
That is a
that's
scary bit of information, but unavoidable.
Yeah. I mean, it is avoidable if I was rich.
Yeah, but a lot of things are avoidable if you're rich, like work.
sorry. My mind is just like derping at the moment because wait. I mean, don't you guys do like? E.
Also, the screen share is not working.
Really?
No, it's working. Like I'm
Oh,
seeing you.
no,
Like and maybe it's a little bit faster on this thing than it is on the Twitch.
no, I'm gonna try and rewatch the. Oh,
I got a little music playing in the background, so
Uh,
you probably can't hear it.
should we like say hello to the people who joined?
Do you wanna? I'm not watching chat, so
No. Well, hello everyone.
hello.
Um,
if anybody says anything important, let me know.
okie dokie. I'll take care of that.
I'm gonna rejoin real quick.
Uh, that's a cute little. So.
Yeah, screen. All right, screen share's just not work. It's probably just Discord.
Probably. It should work eventually.
Uh, so you're drawing seams,
Stitches.
stitches.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I figured I would make a character model for Stitches. Like
Yeah.
I did. It's basically a reference sheet. I made one for Scraps. I might as well make one for Stitches.
So, what's your personality like?
Um, that's a good question. How about this? You got any questions about her, and then I can probably fill that in.
What's her
Would she
favorite
be
food?
in? Would if you could? Would you put her in season 5? No, not generation 5 of My Little Pony.
That's tricky because I have no idea what kind of role she would have.
It depends on what the it.
Yeah.
See, what,
I
what
mean,
is season 5?
I've been basically avoiding any and all information on what season 5 is.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's gonna be.
All I know is the designs are cute. So
Um. Uh. It's going. Wait. No. Well.
we've been
I've been
avoiding it. Do not tell
I've
us
been
anything.
yeah, like don't say and like let's just drop the subject right now.
Alright.
We're the kinds of people who try to avoid looking at absolutely everything or anything.
When I worked in fast food, my boss spoiled Endgame for me the day it came out.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, movie comes out. We have a customer in, and they're like, "I'm gonna go see Endgame," and I'm just like, "Ah, wait till you hear about Tony Stark dying." And I'm
What
like,
that
"Seriously?"
would if someone at a if a manager at a fast food place did that, I would leave a really bad review and call corporate because that's first of all that's not workplace appropriate to uh and second of all like that's just a dick move.
Yeah, and I was like, "Why would you spoil that?" And they're like, "It's all over the news," and I'm like,
People are avoiding the news.
People who are really interested and want to avoid spoilers are doing their best to avoid spoilers, but not checking the goddamn tabloids. Dang it!
Yeah, like whenever a new episode of Loki came out, as soon as I get home from work, I would watch that immediately before looking at Tumblr.
There are actually stuff that you can use to kind of like temporarily like bleep it out until like you see the thing. Like I know it's on Tumblr too.
Blacklist. Yeah,
So,
blacklists.
Yeah, people do that, but people don't actually blacklist their stuff properly.
Or they don't probably tag their stuff.
Tag their stuff, yeah.
So I'm guessing you don't want to talk about Space Jam 2.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that yet. I'm planning on watching it
as far
tomorrow.
as I'm aware, it's just Space Jam. Again,
Good actually.
Don't say anything.
I'm not.
Oh my god. This is such a quality of life improvement.
What?
So in Skyward Sword HD, it gives you the option to ignore the tutorial. Like, she asks you before trying to teach you how to do a thing. She asks you if you want to learn how to do it, and you can say no.
Oh, thank God! That does sound like a quality of life improvement.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's a huge improvement because, like, Fee in the original game is worse than Navi.
I've heard she will even show up like constantly if your battery goes under like
Oh yeah,
one half, she starts bugging you about it.
Oh yeah, but it's and also she would repeat information like if a character was like, "Oh hey, did you know you can find this quest item at this place, or you can find this plot item at this place." Immediately after, she'd be like, "Master, I have acquired information on where to find the plot item."
Oh, that does sound bad.
Oh yeah, but I haven't found out if she still does that, but just the fact that she will
she asks your permission
before trying to shovel something down your throat. Yeah.
Yeah, that does sound like a market improvement. I think definitely they'd consider that because everything I hear about that game, balls to the wall, is always about how annoying Fee is, or is it Fi?
Well, it depends on who you ask. Most people say Fee, but Hyrule Warriors, the original Hyrule Warriors, says Fi, but that sounds really stupid. So like everyone just still calls her Fee.
Yeah. Everybody complains about just how aggressive a Fee is with tutorialization, and that's partially why I was like very sort of leaning away against the game, because I just really loathe aggressive tutorialization.
Agree with you on that. It like if you can get past it, it's actually a really good game. It's just very linear and doesn't really have much room to explore. But the dungeons are amazing. Most of the bosses are fantastic. And the story is actually really cool. And it has one of the best villains ever, which I will not say anything about.
A guy who never played this game.
I'm talking to two people who've never played this game.
Yep, that's how it works. Find people who never played games and then tell them about how it's a market improvement. That always helps, by the way. Yeah. If someone's against the game because they hear about a feature being really aggressive or they don't like something, usually telling them that it's no longer in the game usually helps.
Yeah.
I knew I was very against the last Lord of the Rings game, Shadow of War, because of all the really aggressive microtransactioning.
Yeah. I just watched the Jimquisition video on microtransactions.
Yeah, I need to.
That's the first Jimquisition video I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. Remember all those times you'd mention it, I'd be like, I have no idea who that is.
Oh, fair enough.
I still don't know who that is, like, to an extent. Like, I've only seen one video and I would not be able to recognize whatever his real name is.
Her.
But, oh, her?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't be able to recognize what her real name is or anything, but.
Well, to be fair, when that video came out, Jim Samantha Sterling was still went by was still like a thought of themselves as a guy.
Wait, hold on. I'm confused. What happened? Wait, is he? Oh.
Yeah, Jim Sterling came out like about a month or two ago.
I am so behind.
Make it even harder to keep track of who she is because I only just learned about who they are, and now I have to. I'm just gonna keep not knowing who she is because honestly, I have the memory of a goldfish.
Jim Sterling is good. Like, legitimately does their research.
Yeah, I just having watched the video. The video was good. It's just not my kind of
Video.
Yeah, it's just not the kind of video that like. Don't get me wrong. I do like videos that are about like researching in depth about things. Like I enjoy like Illuminati's corporate casket, but I don't know. I think it's the lack of a rant Sona.
fair enough.
Like Zersic, Illuminati, Vice Rhino, they all have rant Sonas. I don't. Yeah,
it's a visual representation of the person giving
an online
the rant.
persona that is like an illustrated online persona that is the one dealing out the information.
Like Saberspark.
Yes, Saberspark is technically a rant sona. I listened to I listened to Illuminati's newest episode of technically I don't think it was Corporate Casket. It was I don't remember what the actual series is called, but all her videos are more or less the same. It's just the specific series is what determines like the actual topic. Corporate Caskets are about like companies and that do shady crap. Actually, I think it was Corporate Casket because it involved that Kickstarter scam that to start a family-friendly streaming service, and did not disclose that did not disclose that it was going to be a
Christian service?
Yes, a Christian service.
Oh, isn't that thing that Butch Hartman did?
Yep, that's exactly. That was the framework for the video, and but the entire video was going over like all the shady practices that Bitch Fartman had, like including the
the death of the original.
Oh yeah, that as well. Well, that was like a brief anecdote because she didn't want to stay on that subject too long because of how awful it was. She was just like, "This is what this is what Butch Hartman said. This is the context behind it, and this is the backlash he faced as a result." And moved on because it's a very serious subject.
Yeah,
and didn't want to.
It's an unpleasant subject too because you're dealing with the death of an actor and the way it was handled even then by Butch and his media crew. Not great.
Who died?
So the original voice actor, the original voice for Timmy Turner, took her own life. She was very close friends with Tara Strong, and so after she took her own life, Tara Strong got the part. And on a podcast, when discussing the topic, like Tara was.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
hearing that. I'm sorry. It's just.
Yeah.
I
And
try to avoid certain topics and stuff like that.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
why that's why Illuminati like mentioned it was a thing that existed, played the clip of what Butch specifically said, mentioned the backlash, and then moved on to the more uh, corporate side of Butch's shady dealings, since that's what she was mostly focusing on. That the thing, the specific mention of that event was mostly to meant to talk about the character of Butch Hartman, like what kind of person he is, uh,
He very much
to
loves a
provide
scandal.
context for the things he
I
does.
can't find it on YouTube.
What the
Uh, the,
specific,
the thing
the,
that you're talking about.
the specific like thing of Butch Hartman saying it, or the Illuminati video on Butch Hartman.
Illuminati video.
It's naughty spelled like it's Illuminati, but with naughty spelled like naughty, but with two eyes. And also, okay,
Oh, now
yeah,
Yeah.
I just found them. That's why I. That's probably why I got.
oh yeah, it was corporate casket. Yeah, yeah. The main topic was Oaxis.
Yeah.
Uh, the she briefly talked about like the kind of person Butch Hartman is to provide context of who he is and what this what Oaxis is
Butch Hartman
allegedly.
is the kind of guy who loves a good scandal, and even if it's like not a good scandal at all, he'll still talk about it.
Yeah. Remember when he got really salty that people pointed out that his self insert when people pointed out his self insert in Fairly Odd Parents?
Oh yeah, it was
Like
very
so
handsome.
much that he changed his profile pic. He changed the hair of his profile pic because people were pointing it out.
To be fair, I think everybody sort of just wants to make like a version of themselves that's more handsome or pretty or whatever they want, but like it's very noticeable with
Like, I mean, I am not against self inserts in like if a creator has a self insert whose joke is that they're so goddamn sexy, I can respect that because it's a joke. However, Butch Hartman seemed to actually believe it, and that is where lies the
fair
weirdness.
enough.
It's a bit it's like it's almost as creepy as that time the one of the writers for the Powerpuff Girls reboot,
tried
not
to
the
date Blossom.
yeah, had a self insert that dated Blossom.
Yeah,
Not
that's
the
not subtle.
yeah yeah
Yeah. No, I get what you're talking about. No, again, like I try to avoid this stuff because I'm again this
Well,
kind of stuff
what do
sucks
you
for
want
them.
to talk about?
No. It's cool. We can talk
Well,
about this.
well,
But
you don't want to talk about it. You avoid it. So like, what do you want to talk about?
oh, I mean, what I was trying to say was, honestly, like I'm actually kind of am a mix about how okay. So I was thinking about this when okay, you remember Nicktoons brawl thing, the new brawl game, and that how they have Power Toastman.
about
Yeah,
that.
from
Scraps was very pissed that Powdered Toast Man was the character chosen.
to be fair, I was not pissed.
Okay, you were
My
confused.
rage at most was overstated, but seriously, I only watched like a few episodes of Rick and Morty
Of Rick and Morty?
of
You only watch a few episodes of Rick and Morty.
oh, I'm gonna die. Of Ren and
With the
Stimpy.
hit character Powder Toast Man.
Ren and Stimpy. I only ever saw a few episodes of Ren and Stimpy, and I'm like, who the heck is this character? And then I'm like, this is who they're advertising as a big name. This bit note character who appears in maybe one, maybe two episodes of
Yeah, I think there's a
Ren
reason
and
for that.
Stimpy.
There was a reason for that. So, as I was actually going to say, there is okay, so oh god, I don't even know how to explain this, but there is actually a whole story about it. So I don't have to go into like Ren and Stimpy's creator, correct? Like how bad of
No, Ren and
all the stuff.
Stimpy are still appearing in the game.
Well, no. There's actually a story with that. Okay, so um, okay, so I don't have to explain how bad the creator is, right? Like we could just go like say like he was a bad person and tell us we could move on from that, correct?
This is the first I'm hearing about this.
Oh yeah,
Ren and Stimpy's creator was apparently very aggressive at the workplace, and also
Ew.
some really nasty allegations got thrown his way.
All right, I'm assuming I can guess what kind of allegations.
Actually, there are several different type of allegations, but one of my main points that I wanted to say was, okay, so like one of the also main points I wanted to say besides that they're going to try bringing back Ren and Stimpy and put him on fuck, I know they always,
Nicktoons.
no on Comedy Central actually.
That's probably a much better place for it to be than
But they
on
said
Nick.
that they were not going to ask the creator for help because, and I was thinking about this. At first, I was annoyed because I was thinking about that time where I was thinking about like
The
at first I
Powerpuff
was like
Girls.
thinking, what?
The Powerpuff Girls didn't get help from the actual person who worked on Powerpuff Girls.
Craig McCracken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about, but then I remembered something that. Okay, do you guys remember the Okay, there was a fuck. I'm trying to remember. Do you guys remember that weird adult version that he made uh, of Ren and Stimpy?
No, never heard of this.
Okay.
Is
There
it
was
the
a
one
time
where
where
with the stomach acid collection?
I think, but this is more like there was a time where they were like, hey, why don't you like you just make your own adult series and you can go and let you do whatever the hell you want. So he started to get weird and like even the original voice actor for Ren was like, I'm not doing this because it's not just unfunny, it's really disgusting. So like, and everyone thought he was just going batch. He was like because he had no because the guy had no like restraint, and also he was late with his work. He was constantly avoiding stuff, and that that's probably another reason why Nickelodeon doesn't want to hire him again. Another reasons, but like I think my point that I'm trying to say is I think there yes creators should get respect that and said respect should be a big deal. But if they're going, but if the person had shown problems beforehand, I think that it's a okay. It's like it's fair game.
You're wiping your hands of the old issues, sort of.
Yeah, and also like if he can't, like if the person, if like the person has problems and it's something that they needed to improve on, like then I'm wiping my hands and saying I am not getting involved because I believe that is entirely, you know what I'm trying to say. So
No,
Yeah, yeah.
I have an idea what you're trying to say, but I kind of also don't get it. Like,
so
are you saying that you don't want to talk about it, or are you saying that you get why they don't want to like bring them back?
I get why they don't want to bring him back. That's what I'm trying to say.
Ah, okay.
That I completely understand why they don't want to bring him back, and I this is like the few times I'm saying this is justifiable because the guy had was had reasonable like issues and they did not want to deal with him. So I'm just saying why not you can just so like I'm wiping my hands clean. And so I'm probably sure they would do the same thing with Butch Hartman. Like if like Danny Phantom, I don't think like they're gonna ask him to be like, hey, can we bring Danny Phantom back and blah blah blah. I just think they're gonna be like, you know what? We own Danny Phantom. This guy's an asshole. We'll just screw it.
No, I think they will. Butch Hartman's still, as far as I'm aware, has like a lot of actual pull. He hasn't been like ostracized. If anything, they'll probably be like, "Hey, Butch, we don't want you involved personally, but we do actually need your approval before we continue." So, who knows? Who knows? Hollywood is a massive void of things.
Tell me about it.
I still can't get over the whole the fact that he traced a lot of his $200 commissions. You remember that?
Yeah, I recall that.
And he did it poorly. He traced it poorly. Oh, I'm sorry. He heavily referenced.
Yeah.
It technically wasn't tracing because there is video of him actually drawing the things, but
To
it
be fair,
was very, very heavily referenced to the point where you can point. He's very good at tracing by eye, essentially.
happens.
Yeah.
A lot
Which
of
is actually
artists, when dealing with stuff they're unfamiliar with, will definitely use a lot of heavy referencing, which often does
Yeah.
lead to even the best artists. You can definitely tell that when heavy referencing is done. I do
I mean,
not.
there are some that don't
Yeah,
have the recording that
yeah, fair enough.
are very suspicious.
To be fair, my personal take on it is it's kind of bad that he did it the way he did, and I don't approve of how he did it. But at the same time, I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like if it was for personal,
if it
if it
was,
was for personal
yeah, if
art
it was
and not
personal,
$200 commissions.
yeah, if it was like a personal thing and not like I'm taking $300 for this, I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind.
Especially that goddamn dib, because not only did he heavily reference literally the first dib picture you could find on Google at the time, but he also drew it really, really, really badly.
Oof.
You remember? You know the one I'm talking about,
I
right?
think I recall exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, like,
He's a bad artist, honestly.
eh, that one I'm actually debatable about. Like, then again, you're talking to a guy who thinks like Steven Universe's art is bad, but
I think Steven Universe's art is bad. It's got amazing visuals and backgrounds and stuff, and the designs are very well. Like the designs have an amazing amount of variety in them.
I'm actually confused about the whole Steven Universe's art design is bad because it's not bad design. It's just very simple.
I'm gonna wash my hands clean on this one because, well, I don't know. I'm sorry. Just like I'm washing my hands clean because while I respect your opinion, this is like the type of thing where that case.
No. We're just curious. Like, what do you think about Steven Universe's art that makes it bad? We're not asking. We're not saying you're wrong. We're just like curious what brought you to this stance.
It's more okay. Well, besides other problems, but like it feels like a bit. I don't know. I don't want to say distracting, but more of. I'm trying to think of the right word to say it because it's not. It has its good aspects. Like I'm not gonna lie about that, but it just feels like it's too anime-ish, if that's one best way to say it. Like it feels more of a clusterfuck to me.
Okay, so you think it's too over animated, or you think that it has too many details going on in the background?
God, again, I'm not an artist person, so I'm trying to think about how to explain this in my own words and stuff like that. But I think the best way to explain it is, I think like one of the reasons I don't like the style, it just feels too well simplistic, yeah, but at the same time it feels too
Too flashy?
animated. What?
Flashy?
I mean, there are good flashy anime like Trigger
No,
does good stuff.
no. I mean flashy as in uh, ostentatious. Not flashy as in physical flashing lights.
No, I get what you mean. It just feels too simplistic in a way where, or it feels more like DeviantArt, if that's the right way to say it.
Mm.
Is that a good way to say it? it just
I
feels like
think you and I have very different DeviantArt experiences.
not at DeviantArt.
When you say DeviantArt, my first immediate thought is Sonic the Hedgehog and everything that goes with that on DeviantArt.
I guess that's the right word. Or there's a good example. I'm probably sure you guys never heard of. Do you guys ever heard of ABI tutorial?
A what tutorial?
It's about a guy who talks about art design in fighting games.
No, I mean what?
It's
I
ABI tutorial.
No, I haven't heard of it.
Okay, so they were talking about a character that was designed from the King of Fighter games, who was overly designed. Like his color scheme was a mess because he had multiple colors and and it felt.
Oh, you think so? You think the palettes clash in Steven Universe?
I just feel like at times, like it's trying to be this whimsical thing, and as a result, it feels like it's not as elegant. It's not as designed as it should be.
So you're saying the designs don't fit
Aesthetic.
the aesthetic?
I think.
Have you ever seen the Steven Universe pilot?
Not gonna lie. I tried to not watch Steven Universe after a couple of episodes.
Well, no, the pilot is in a completely different style, a completely different style. It looks very different. Maybe you'd enjoy that a lot more than the actual show.
Maybe. Also, I'm just also the type of guy that just doesn't like it when it feels like they're just stealing off of Japanese animation, or it feels like
I think it's stealing off of it.
Steven Universe
not
isn't.
stealing
Wait,
off of it.
would you
That's
say
the wrong
that
way.
Teen Titans or
No, Teen Titans
or-
steals, but I'm
well,
just saying.
or Avatar: The Last Airbender? Would you say that those are stealing off Japanese style?
No, that's where I'm iffy about because it's not just stealing Japanese styles, but it's more like
Don't forget that anime was a Japanese interpretation of the Disney style of Scrooge McDuck.
wait, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
you never
father
heard of that?
the father of anime, Tezuka, and I actually have the original Astro Boy black and white DVDs from the 50s, and that dude was a big fan of the design of Scrooge McDuck and Mickey Mouse. So when he was making his own manga, he's the father of manga too. He used designs with big eyes and small noses, sort of like what the Mickey Mouse style was. So you can definitely tell that the entire anime style that devolves from his works is very much Disney-esque.
Yeah, so anime has its origins in America.
Yeah, so when you're saying like
It's not that they were stealing it. It's more of I guess God, again, I'm trying
What
to go.
what makes anime not stealing from Scrooge McDuck, but like Teen Titans and Steven Universe are stealing from anime? Like, at what point does it stop being stealing?
that
I
that
guess it's more of.
Like-
I guess. Oh, I think I got it now. So it's not the fact that they're stealing the thing. It's more what was bothering me. It feels like they didn't really try expanding it onwards. It like than what they could have.
They expanded it very well. Like, it started out as like, oh, magical fantasy, and then it ended up being aliens, and then it turned out that they were thousand-year-old rebels that were the last survivors of an intergalactic war, and like Steven Universe's world expanded a lot after the first season.
is this is this a conversation about the art style or a conversation about the storytelling? Because those are two different things entirely.
I'm trying to avoid my opinions about the story because I think that's what Steven Universe's biggest problem is. But I'm trying to think of oh, then again, me complaining about Steven Universe, I could just explain about Darling and the Franks, and that would be a better way to explain what my problem with Steven Universe. But I guess I just don't. It's like I've seen this art style done a lot, and like I've seen better shows that done it. Like, or hell, I've seen Scott Pilgrim do like this the thing better. If that makes sense.
Scott Pilgrim isn't
Oh,
animated.
so
Scott
you
Pilgrim
don't like the
is.
CalArts style, despite the fact that I don't know why it became called the CalArts style when half the shows that are allegedly the CalArts style, their creators didn't even go to CalArts.
I'm gonna just plead the fifth on this, and it
No,
just
we're not ostracizing or anything. We're just confused by your stance because your stance is sort of all over the place. First, you're saying
no,
that
well,
it's stealing from anime. Then, when you hear that the anime style is
American in
actually
origins.
American origins, and here's the thing: I believe that all good artists steal. All good artists find something they like and they steal it. All art is
But yeah, that's
essentially.
how. Like my art style started out from me stealing from scraps.
Yeah, every good artist steals somewhere somehow. No idea is truly original.
Yeah, that's why there's
How
only 7 original stories in the world.
yeah, none of which are by
listen,
Shakespeare.
I guess I don't know how to explain it then because it's a little bit no, the reason why I'm stuttering a bit is because my lack of trying. Like, this is an area which I am not skilled in. Like, and that's probably why I feel a little bit shy about this, if that makes sense.
I mean, it's okay to not like a thing. We're not gonna make you like try to justify not liking it. Like it's okay to just not like a thing for the sake of not liking a thing.
Yeah, well, we're just curious about your reasoning because you seem like you have a very
Yeah.
specific reason why you don't like this, and we're like, well, why
If
is
you
it?
don't have a reason, that's also okay. It's
Yeah,
Well,
like
no, it's not
I
that. I'm
I
just.
I don't like the Amphibia or Owl House just because it doesn't interest me. Uh,
I'm very actually very interested at the Owl House bit because I'm actually
well,
really enjoyed Owl House.
well,
Okay,
it just doesn't interest me. Like it's just not something I see myself like sitting down and watching.
oh, okay.
I'm just not interested in it.
You really liked you really liked Gravity Falls, right?
Oh, Gravity Falls is great. Like, Gravity Falls would be an example of, to me, like what a cartoon should be.
There's
It,
any specific of what a cartoon should be, since there's a lot of different genres of
okay,
what.
fair. So, I mean, sorry to interrupt. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, I like to me, I feel like certain shows like Gravity Falls and stuff like that, they're trying to, like, they're trying different art styles, if that makes sense. Not art styles. I mean, it's trying to make a name for itself besides just, like, saying, instead of just going, like, oh, I feel like it doesn't use just its art as a way to make a name for itself.
What? Gravity Falls or Steven
Yeah,
Universe?
yeah. I'm complimenting Gravity Falls. Like, Gravity Falls has more to itself.
Gravity Falls is actually based off pulp magazines.
Yeah. Have you seen the original, like the test pilot for Gravity Falls? It is amazing. It's basically the first episode, but with a way more raw style. I like it.
Have you ever seen the original pilot for Infinity Train?
Oh my God,
Yes,
love
I
Infinity
did.
Train.
It was like I think it was like levers instead of the balls, but it was the second episode, basically.
I think that was closer to the third.
What? No, what? Are you sure? Because she met Atticus in like the second episode. I thought.
No, I think the first episode is.
No, the first episode is the one where she gets on the train and meets One. It's the one with the
yeah, but she
the
meets
boxes.
she meets She meets the blue blobby guy in the second
Randall?
episode. Randall, yeah, she meets Randall in the second episode.
I thought that was the third episode.
Randall's the second episode. Atticus comes after Randall and the cat.
Oh.
So, but I mean, I feel like shows like I feel like if I can be blunt, that Infinity Train is much better to me art design wise, and I am more interested with that type of art style than I am with Steven Universe.
To be fair, I always thought of Steven Universe as more like aping on the style of stuff like early very early Cartoon Network stuff like Powerpuff Girls and Hey Hey Umi or whatever.
Puffy Amiyumi?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see the Powerpuff Girls connection. I think Steven Universe, it definitely picks up after the first season. The first season just does kind of drag on because a lot of it is filler, and also it's 60 episodes.
I forget how absolutely long Steven Universe can be.
Yeah, I think after I do think the first season does drag on a bit, but I think its use of color and its style work really well. There's a variety of like body types, for example, like characters. There's a big variety in character design, is what I mean, which is something that Disney, for one, could learn from.
Fair enough.
I'm being mean. Luca had really good character design.
But Luca is Pixar, not Disney.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Wait, no, didn't Disney buy Pixar though?
Yeah, Disney owns Pixar, but the thing is, the creative heads of the companies are different. So.
All right. So then, yeah, I can still harp on Disney for.
So Pixar has its own style because it has its own teams and its own head runners who operate independently of Disney, whereas
and
Disney
know how to make characters look, different.
This is
who
why
made Mitchells and the Machines?
that was Sony.
Okay. Sony knows how to do good character design.
I agree with that.
Sorry, I vomited in my mouth a bit saying that statement because I thought of the Emoji Movie.
Okay, to be fair, but I think it was a different thing, and
I know. I know. I'm just teasing.
I don't think anybody
have some pretty decent movies like Spider-Verse and Mitchells vs. Machines.
I don't think anybody who worked on the Emoji Movie considered it a passion project. There might be somebody definitely in that team who was like, yeah, I'm very passionate about this scene because I put in a lot of work and time and.
Yeah, no, it's more like shit. The Lego Movie made a lot of movie. We needed to make a commercial. Quick, get all the sponsors we can. Candy Crush, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat. That's all it is. Didn't they get into some hot trouble because it was essentially a commercial, like an hour and a half long commercial? Didn't they actually get in trouble with the FCC for that?
Yeah, I don't recall.
Because I know there's laws that like if you're being a commercial, it has to be clear that it's a commercial or some shit.
Yeah, I think at a point, if you're doing a commercial, you do have to tell people in advance who's paying you money.
Yeah.
A lot of movies.
Like
Michael Bay, he's still making a Transformers movie, but in that Transformers movie, one of the robots turns into a Mountain Dew machine.
Yeah, like there's
well,
that's product. Like basically, there's a difference between sponsorship and product placement, and like the difference, like what Emoji Movie did was considered sponsorship, and they did not divulge it essentially. So that's why they got in trouble.
Yeah,
if I'm remembering it correctly.
When you're doing like a certain number of things, I think it qualifies as sponsorship.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, because it was like, especially with the Candy Crush, because they explained how the game works before going through it, and it was like it wasn't just a product placement; it was like a plot device.
Yeah.
That's like one of the moments.
There's a point I believe in like what do you think of that silhouette match? Boom! Look at these two.
Yeah, they look like twins.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can you can see Scrap's silhouette behind us. It just let me
Yeah.
let me just push this at the forefront so like you can definitely tell when I like do a fade in, fade out.
We need to get Raid Shadow Legends to sponsor us, even though we never played it, and I will never play it because I just do not care one bit about it. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, they're siblings. You can definitely tell just from like the the ears.
There's one more.
It's the body type too. You can definitely tell that Scraps is a bit more pudgy looking, while Stitches is a lot more narrow. With
Yeah.
the
You should
big
make one for Seams after this.
I should.
Who seems?
Let's not go into that.
Alright, sorry.
You'll see. Maybe.
Maybe, who knows? I haven't decided fully yet on where I'm going with that. Let me just make it smaller. So I actually watched Rick and Morty season 4 over the
I
past
still
few
need to
days.
finish that.
It's
The last episode I saw was the one with the crystals that let you see how you're gonna die.
Oh, I was like the only one I kind of watch. Like I've been trying to watch season 5 lately, including like the new the one they make fun.
Well, I don't think any of us have seen season 5.
I've seen some of season 5.
It makes
Oh,
fun.
well, I
It
haven't.
makes fun of Captain Planet.
Yes, the Captain Planet episode.
Well, let's not, because I haven't seen. Let's
Oh,
not
okay.
talk about it because I haven't
No,
seen.
it's fair. It's fair. But like, let me say, like,
I
really think
No.
Planet is moving too much.
Let's just not talk about it at all because there have been times where, like in the past, where I've tried to like get people to stop talking about a thing. They're like, okay, I'll just say this one thing then, and then they say something that accidentally spoils something huge. And I think it's best if someone hasn't seen a thing to just not talk about it at all
Yeah.
I understand.
to
I'm sorry.
prevent spoilers. I do plan on there's a lot of stuff I need to watch this week. I'm planning on watching America the Motion Picture tomorrow.
Oh yes, you still need to see that.
Yeah, I know. I wanna watch
That's
it before
good.
the
That's
stream.
that's by the same people who did Archer actually.
Yeah, I know. You sent me the Benedict Arnold scene.
That's like the first 8 minutes of the movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right, then I have a lot to...
They didn't even do the credit roll at that point.
Oh man, I cannot wait then.
But seriously, it's a legitimately good movie that riffs on sort of how America views itself as.
Oh
as
yeah,
as,
so it's basically the same energy as like Team America.
a little. It tries to have more emotional moments, I guess, than Team America. I never actually saw Team America, so I can't say.
Wait, I think I saw this movie. It's like The Hunt. Yeah, is it like The Hunt?
What?
What?
America the Motion Picture.
No, I mean like like The Hunt, the movie. It made fun of it made fun of American like ideologies and stuff like that. And it's made by one of the guys who made Homestar Runner.
I have no idea what you're talking
never
about.
heard
We're
of
talking
that.
about We're talking about a movie called America the Motion Picture.
By Phil Lord.
Okay, no, I was just thinking because it reminded me of the same thing. Where that case, it's really silly, but it's like it kind of like focus. Like it has aspect with it's trying to be serious. It's like that's why I was curious.
Okay, yeah, it has moments. Because it is about the founding of America. They do actually have moments that matter. Dang it, her ears are bunnies. I forgot about that.
What did you draw her ears as?
I drew them as just like big floppy things, and I'm like, oh dang it. Ah, never mind. This is a
Oh, I
redesign.
see.
This is
Huh?
a redesign. I can go with big old floppy ears.
I like big floppy ears.
Yeah,
You should,
look at those.
you
Look,
should go with. Oh, you're drawing Echidna?
yeah.
Echidna?
You should go with the bunny ears.
Fair enough.
Bunny ears are cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'm not being a bother, am I?
Not really.
No.
I'm trying to decide if I want the ears to hang or not.
Oh, right. This is the Kikwi I have to cut all the grass for.
Should I have the ears flop in this redesign, or should I have them still perk up?
You could have one perk up and. Have you seen the way I draw rabbit ears, right?
I'm not.
Really? You've never seen?
I must
oh,
have. But I don't recall them.
Yeah, I always draw one like straight up and the other like at almost a 90-degree angle.
Oh yes,
What do you
I
call
know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, let me just.
Yeah. Kind of like how you draw well no, actually no, not like that.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna perk this ear up a bit more. I was trying to avoid touching the ceiling, so.
Here's a picture of Prism. This is how I usually draw them.
Oh, she's cute.
Thanks. She's one of my characters.
Oh yeah, I get that. Yeah, I can do something similar. I was just
She's
trying to.
half rabbit, half cat.
Oh, cute. Cabot.
Yep. Sort of. But like alien. She's half alien rabbit, half alien cat. It's a thing from a thing I've been it's from well with not working on.
Yeah,
Just
it's something you spitballed.
yeah, with Keela.
Okay. I still laugh because I gave Echidna the anime mom hairstyle.
uh
You know, the one
the
from like
side of death.
yeah. The
Yeah.
one where every character where they always die. I never was good at like drawing that from like the front or anything. I don't think anybody knows how to draw the anime mom style from the front. That's why they always have like the moms at the side or going like, you're doing great, honey," and like they're at a distance.
Yeah. Or they just cough up blood and die. Like from why is it that every anime mom dies of tuberculosis?
I think I think it's just an easy shorthand for horrible, painful disease.
Yeah, and like having them coughing up blood is like you no you don't need medical knowledge to know that there shouldn't be blood in a cough. So I guess it's a really easy way to show that they're sick with something really bad. And
Yeah.
did Trisha Elric die from tuberculosis, or was it never like stated?
I don't think they ever stated which it was.
Cancer.
Of course, it's cancer. It's always cancer. I don't. You know, they don't. Do they even have cancer knowledge in Fullmetal Alchemist?
I think so. One of the yeah, I think one. I don't fully remember. Okay, no, I don't think so. I remember like wait.
It definitely wasn't tuberculosis. She had she had the disease for 5 years up until her death.
Yeah.
And Cora is down, so I can't find out.
What?
Quora, basically the new Yahoo Answers. It's not as good.
I could just check Google.
I know, but Google's was like, here is the question that you asked from Quora with an answer, and Quora is down.
Okay, I was just trying to. Sorry, like Oof. I'm just getting also a little bit like
Group nervous?
kind of, yeah. Yeah, yeah, like yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
There's a theory that Father and the homunculi played a hand in Trisha's illness.
Would not be
I
surprised. I recall in the original 2003 anime, there was talk that being around Hohenheim gave her the sickness.
that
Yeah, because of he was constantly rotting
Yeah.
that
slowly.
sounds like a horrible story idea. Like, okay, I mean, I really
Tra-
don't
I,
like. I don't like. Sorry, I just really don't like 2003, the 2003 version. Not because of it's different, but more of I really don't like how dark it is. Like how fuck you humanity it is when the whole theme evolving it is that humanity isn't that bad.
I mean, that's the reason why they show the darkest parts of humanity is so that the uh compassion of humanity shines brighter. Like
No,
Ed Elric sees all that shit, goes through all that shit, and still chooses humanity over.
no, I
Uh,
mean like the
Immortality.
original. I'm talking about the like. I'm talking about the not the reboot, not the original, like the original manga and
Brotherhood.
yeah, Brotherhood. But
Yeah,
I
no,
mean
I'm
like
talking.
that
I know
them.
2003.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2003. Like even in Conquers of Shambhala, Ed Elric sees the worst of humanity. Nazis,
Yeah.
but still understands that that is a very very small portion of what humans are, and humans humans as a whole are fantastic and compassionate creatures. It's just there's really really loud, dangerous, evil ones
There's a
that need to be
reason.
stopped.
There's a reason
no
why in
more.
Conquerors of Shambhala, the character that we meet, who's an actual out and out Nazi,
Is Hughes,
is Hughes. To,
and the character that we meet that is a which that is nice and also a Jewish director is King Bradley.
yeah,
I was talking about more
it's
like how
to
the
show that it is partially for the shock value and the surprise of having, oh shoot, popular character turns out not good, but also because underlying all that, they're still very much human, and humans still make mistakes.
Yeah,
I was
humans are
talking about
very very flawed.
I was talking about how the show had like the creator of the show, the developer has a huge hate boner for humanity. I guess that's what like I think like he did other works. Fuck,
The
like I
creator's a girl. The creator of Full Metal Alchemist is a girl.
no, the creator of the 2003 anime.
Oh, okay.
I
Huge,
haven't heard
huge
anything
hate
about
boner.
that.
To be
The
fair, hate boners for humanity is a very common, like, I think that, I think one, I think the purpose uh, of 2003 is to show that humans can be really bad, but they can also be really good.
keep
Like,
in mind.
there's not no one single, there is no one single facet of uh, humanity. Humans are individuals. Humans are multifaceted.
Yeah, that's why they bring back a lot of side characters because they want to show how these characters have drastically changed. And that's even why one of the characters even goes back to his old habits and is immediately punished back into the right path. It's to show that humans do change and we do better ourselves. And even if we fall off the path, there's that's not saying that we're inherently
It's
evil.
yeah.
I
I don't think it's a hate boner necessarily for humanity. I think it's more showing the darkest facets of humanity, so that the brightest parts of humanity can shine even brighter.
It's important to recognize that 2003 was written around the same time that the United States was engaged in the darkest parts of the Iraq War. So, a lot of the story beats that are like really mean spirited with the what are they called again? The Iraqi
Middle
people
East.
allegory.
The Ishvalans.
Yeah, the Ishvalans. Um, why a lot of it represents like actual real world at the time
Poli- yeah,
politics
politics.
because they wanted to show this is wrong. The bad guys are doing it.
I guess, but okay.
Remember
I'm
in
just gonna,
2003? You remember how in 2003 Scar's brother lost his dick when making a homunculus?
I still
you
love
still
that
can
bit.
say that stuff.
Yeah, we're allowed.
That,
We're
that
allowed
that's
to say
that's
that.
accurate. That's literally what happened.
Yeah, you remember, like, to make a homunculus, you have to give up some ironic part of, like you have to they you lose something in an ironic way.
Yeah.
Uh, in trying to bring back his mother, Ed Elric lost his
Yeah,
brother.
I get
In
that part.
bringing back, yeah, like
No, it's
and
just sorry. It's just like the fact that he lost his dick. It's like I don't remember that ever
no,
happening in the 20th,
in
like in the.
in the flashback that is talking about how Lust was created, Scar's brother walks out after trying to resurrect his dead wife. He walks
Girlfriend.
out, and there's a huge bloody stain right on his crotch, and nowhere else on him
They, they,
except
they,
maybe his hands.
they don't draw too much attention to it, which is the important part. But literally, that dude does lose his dick.
Yeah, he lost his dick.
Yeah.
No comment.
Like his crotch is even horribly scarred when he's walking around nude after getting tattooed.
Yeah.
Huh.
They definitely want you to know that the part of him that he lost was the ability to make love to the person he loved.
Yeah.
No, I was just like thinking to myself about what you were talking about. It was going in a time where where it was like that. But I'm trying to like but I am thinking about how the reason why I still think, even if it was made in a time where America was at its darkest, that that shows and stuff like that should not get a second. It should not. I'm trying to say, if they're going to focus on topics that are that severe, they should not do it for shock value.
It wasn't done for
Like,
shock value.
It wasn't for shock value. Like, it was for
I was
a
not.
pretty decent story.
Shock value would be if they had people shooting Ishvalans in the street and waving like American style flags around, and somebody screamed
Yeah.
like some Ishvalan slang for God is good and then exploded. That would
Yeah.
be for shock value. This was handled in a way where you actually get to meet the victims of that kind of mentality, and there's a lot of like long discussion about the cause and effect, other people going through the same sort of ordeal. It's not shock value. It's literally the writer going, hey, this is important. We need to actually portray this in a light of understanding. We need to understand why this happens.
Alright, I believe that. God, no, it's again. Fuck, it's been a while since I watched like FMA 2003, but I'm trying to like remember it, like, but it's like it's hard because like I haven't seen the thing in a while. But I guess what I'm trying to say. Oh, I remember there was like an interview that was explaining why I don't like it. It's that instead of like letting Ed improve as a person, or not as the improvement, or like it's that I feel like, or I'm sorry if I'm like stuttering. I want to make sure I'm accurate with this as well, because I want to respect your opinions. Um,
By
it's
the way,
either
I found the picture I was looking for. Here it is.
uh, neat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
glad
not
to,
subtle.
Oh
but
yeah, especially in the when he's nude later,
Yeah.
because his body is scarred right there.
I was trying to say more of. To me, I felt it was shock value because of how, like, I think certain ways of how people could do things could be better, and they didn't have to sacrifice, like, you know, like they didn't have to make it too dark or make the characters do stupid decisions to make it.
I think I think the thing that marks something as shock value is if it is something horrible and does not progress the plot at all. If it's something horrible that happens for the sake of being horrible, then it's for shock value. But if it progresses the plot in a meaningful way, then it's not shock value. And I think that the things that happened, such as what happened to Rose, for example, that is not shock value because that is directly related to the plot.
I think
Uh,
the stuff that happens to Rose, there is a little shock value in it, but the important thing to know about that is it's a consequence of war. Stuff like that actually happens in war, and they're drawing attention to the fact that this happens. This is not a good thing. And the
Oh yeah,
person who it happens to suffers greatly for it. So when we see Rose, this character that we already know and already like, and we see what has happened to her and how it's affected her, we immediately feel sympathy for her and her people, and there's like a legitimate reason for why this happened. It's war. It's what happens
yeah.
in this particular kind of war.
I'm okay. I'm just saying the reason, like, just saying war. Okay, so I don't even know how to say this without sounding offensive, but like, I just felt like it was too preachy, but not in the preachy like say like I'm not saying a show can express their ideals, but I felt like the show did stupid things not for the sake of its progression or the story, but just so that case they could be like, oh, this is dark and spooky and shit like that, and it felt like to me it could have been done better, and I
One
I
option
mean
is you could always try watching it again and seeing if your opinion has changed. Because I know
I'll
sometimes
try
there's
doing
things
that.
that I've seen where I'm like, oh, this is dumb, I don't like this, and I've watched it again
Yeah.
years later
I
or even like a month or so, and I'm like, now
yeah.
that I think about it, there is a point to this.
Yeah, no, I used to really, really hate Adventure Time. Like, really, I used to hate its art style. I did not like its art style. I did not like how it looked. It was way too
Energetic.
fluid and noodly, and I just did not. I did not vibe with that. But then after a few years, I gave it another chance, and I actually enjoyed it a lot. I was able to get past the I was able to get past its art style and uh, enjoy it for its story,
When I was a
which is
kid,
really good.
uh, people were talking about Adventure Time getting an adaptation, and I was like, oh, that sounds so cool. A lot of people are talking about this. People whose opinions I actually respect. This must be a great show. And I sit down, and my mom's in the back watching this, and she immediately bans it because she didn't like it. And I'm like, I thought it was okay. Like it wasn't a great episode. It was very much the first episode is not a great episode. I think for anybody who's not already familiar with the material.
I don't even
So
remember what the first episode is. I found a list. So there's this amazing website that lets you that tells you which episodes of a series are filler and which ones are important. And it's not just like these are filler, these are important. It also has things like, oh, these ones are they are considered filler, but they do help grow this character a bit, so it's still worth checking out if you want,
you know,
like stuff like that. and so I found that website. That's the website that helped me get through Dragon Ball, like the OG Dragon Ball.
Oh, that sounds useful. I might have to borrow that.
Oh yeah,
No, I'm
that's
just thinking to myself, oh, like there is a show that gives an example of why I don't like 2003 FMA. But I mean, not like no, I mean FMA 2003 has its own values and that's good. But I think this show itself is like the prime representation of what I don't like in certain shows.
Is it a YouTube rant video
No,
or
it's actually an anime,
oh, what's it called?
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan is its own can of worms. We're not going into
yeah,
that.
that Attack on Titan is I. It's a gross show with the gross creator.
Wait, the creator's gross?
Oh, totally.
The creator doesn't consider Korean people to be human.
To be fair, that's actually something a lot of Japanese people believe.
I was talking about how I thought his show was stupid. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, well, the show is Nazi propaganda. It's well fascist propaganda, like, well, actually no, specifically Nazi propaganda, because like like there have been direct parallels made between like the protagonist and actual Nazi propaganda.
now that you think about it, yeah, it is. Like, the reason why I didn't like
Like
it was because most of the time it just felt like, oh, this guy, like, okay, when Eren got his Titan form, they were like, oh, this is bad. Oh, yes, this is bad. We gotta do something. And then, like, oh, let's do something, and Eren helps us. Yay, Eren helps us. Oh no, these creatures are coming. Oh no, Eren helps us at the last second. Yay, we win, everything's back to normal. But we still hate Eren because Eren has a Titan formula, and it's like ad nauseum for 20 episodes straight. They tried.
I'm glad I dodged a bullet on that because its art style is so fucking ugly. Like, oh my god, its art style is. I did not watch it because its art style was ugly, and I'm so glad I made that choice considering all the stuff that came to light afterwards.
So I want to bring up something as somebody who actually did watch the first season. It is not a bunch of is not a bunch of oh we hate Eren. Eren is bad because he has his monster form. That's kind of brushed under the rug within like the first 5 or so episodes because they treat him more as a living weapon. Something's out family wise. I'll be back.
Okay.
All right. In that case, I'm also going to go take a piss.
All right. Have fun. Ugh.
The characters in that series, particularly in the Survey Corps. Who?
And your rogue left.
Oh, why?
To use the bathroom.
Oh, bathroom. Okay. The way you phrased it sounded a lot worse than it is. Okay.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. So the characters are intentionally treated as human weapons, but the thing is who they are is the issue because Eren Yeager is. No, his father is responsible for the monster outbreak, from what I recall, and also very unapologetically, intentionally draws a lot of parallels with Jewish people. So it very much intentionally says, yeah, that is what makes it worse.
Like, no, like it also makes it worse because.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually Polish. Half Polish. My grandmother went to a concentration camp.
I don't need to know that.
Yeah. So like I hate
I'm
when
back.
shows do that stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm talking about like the big reveal where where all the Titans turn out to be Jewish people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Jewish. I don't like. I'm trying to look it. I'm trying to find this.
I think they might have given it like a different religion, but it's intentionally meant to parallel Jewish people.
Yeah.
They're even
At
given like
least,
huge comedic
at the
noses.
very least, with well, not at the very least, but one thing I like about Full Metal Alchemist, both 2003 and Brotherhood, is that it makes it very clear that the imperialistic military, whose aesthetic is based off of Nazis, is evil. It makes it very clear they're the bad guys.
One thing I do love about Full Metal Alchemist 2003, way more than anything in Brotherhood, is that Roy Mustang is the one who killed Winry's parents on orders.
Yeah,
I
that was
actually
a
liked it
really
better.
good.
Like, I liked it better when Scar was getting. I like the whole Scar thing better, if I can be brutally honest.
I like 2003 Scar more than Scar from Brotherhood, like design wise and
I mean,
as a
admittedly,
character.
he is a lot more Bishy Boy in 2003, but his motivation in 2003 to me makes a lot more sense because
He saw everyone get slaughtered and had no retribution.
yeah, and he's definitely more of a nobody to monster in the 2003 version, whereas in Brotherhood he's already kind of a badass even before everything.
Oh yeah, he took down or he almost took down Kimberly before anything.
Yeah, and in 2003 he's just another random ass citizen who is hurt by
The war.
by the war, and then he becomes a nightmare. He's literally the crimes of Ishval come back to bite them.
Yeah, he's
And
the divine retribution
yeah,
of Ishvala.
and
Which,
in Brotherhood, it's very clear he was always that kind of ass kicking badass, which I feel loses something.
yeah. Also, he is way, way, way more buff in Brotherhood, and I don't really like that. I liked him better when he looked like a regular guy.
One of the things that I do like about the timeline um in 2003 over Brotherhood is that Scar shows up pretty much. So what I do? Okay, I want to emphasize in 2003 they take the stuff with Tucker and they push it back in the timeline. So originally, Edward and Al met him when
To
they're
study,
15.
yeah, to study for the exam.
Yeah, so they meet him when they're 15, which is right after their whole Lior fight
No,
stuff.
they didn't meet them when they
No,
were
no,
15. They met him when they were 12.
no. In Brotherhood they did because he was there to help them study for the state alchemist exam. However, in 2003, the reason why they were there was to learn about
No, like,
No, no,
I'm
no.
talking about 2003. Like, in 2003, they were 12 when they were joined that big
Yeah.
Brotherhood.
What I'm saying is, in Brotherhood, they meet him when they're 15, after they're already fully established as state alchemists. In
No,
2000,
before.
no. That's 2003 where they meet him when they're still
Wait,
kids.
I thought 2003 was the one where they went to him because he might know something about human transmutation because he's experienced with creating chimeras. I thought that's what their motivation was in 2003, whereas it was in Brotherhood that they were there because he was going to help them study for the state alchemist exam. Or do I have that backwards?
It is
Yeah,
backwards.
backwards, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
They do meet up with him intentionally because he's an experiment in in transmuting animals, and they want to know more about that. But that's because they're curious. But they do spend a lot of time with him because they are learning to become state alchemists. And Shao Tucker dies in Brotherhood, but survives in 2003.
Yeah, in Brotherhood, he's killed by Scar because he's a state alchemist, and also because of what he did to Nina. But
No,
Is he getting the
mostly because he's a state alchemist,
yeah.
though.
In 2003, they executed him by firing squad, but that's fake. That's fake news. uh,
I'm just like I'm sorry, but just like I remember that you guys okay. There was a thing that the original or like the original creator I actually liked. One of the reasons I sorry yeah one of the main reasons I actually like the original creator is like how like she loves to do silly joke stuff and like she even made an entire comic book about like how like her life as a cow or like a
Yeah, her
cow
life on
farmer.
the farm. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, like it
that's
makes
why she was very pro milk, is because she grew up on a dairy farm.
No, like I'm just like thinking about this, and like when you guys talking about Show Tucker killing himself, and then there was like a joke that she had. It was like Show Tucker killed his wife because she wanted to ditch him because he was poor and stuff like that. And I just thought that was like funny, and like that just reminded me of that like that whole thing. Like
She wanted to leave Shout Tucker because he was obsessed over his work, and she just couldn't deal
I
living
mean
with a guy who was literally driving himself insane for that. It was
yeah,
not
we're
be
talking about like the four panel comic joke thing. That's what I was
Yeah,
talking
no.
about.
like the one where the my favorite 4 panel joke comic is the one where they talked about how, the super weird family tree, which makes like Salim and King Bradley. It makes them essentially um, Ed Elric's nephew. Because so hear me out. It's because Hohenheim's blood created Homunculus, which ended up becoming Father, which is and the homunculi are essentially his children, which makes Father
I
Ed and Alphonse's half brother, and that makes the homunculi their nephew
Okay,
and
gonna
nieces,
interrupt. I'm gonna be right back.
nephews and nieces.
I'm getting some coffee.
Okay.
So let me just throw a big ol' That's not a B. There we go. BRB. I'll be back in a minute. You two entertain yourselves.
So I guess like yeah, like what you were saying, you were like saying that Edward was technically father's
Brother,
son, well, yeah,
brother,
brother. Well, not
yeah,
no brother-in-law or uncle.
half
It would be
brother,
Edward's uncle. Yeah.
half brother.
No,
Yeah.
no. So to Ed, Ed would be his uncle.
E-
To Ed,
E-
ugh,
yeah,
I can't speak today.
Ed would be the uncle to the seven homunculi because he is the brother, the half brother of Father, because Hohenheim is all of their father. It's really confusing when one of the characters is named Father.
Yeah,
But
no, I'm not gonna lie, that was confusing. But
yeah,
I actually feel
basically
bad for father though.
the
Not for father, for well, actually, I do feel bad
Hohenheim.
for father. Well,
Do you
kind of,
feel
yeah,
bad
for
for
Owenheim.
Hohenheim?
Well, yeah, for Owenheim, but like, I'm talking about. I felt bad for, kind of feel bad for father because of his hubris. I guess what I'm trying to say, like, his whole he's trying to be God because he just feels like he wants to go beyond his boundaries because he wants to learn more.
He wants to be God because he's got a Napoleon complex. He's the dwarf in the flask, and that's all he'll ever be.
I'm back.
Even with all his power, he is still the dwarf in the flask, and that's why his door was blank, because after all that time he learned nothing.
Well, yeah, but like I feel bad for him because like I mean I feel a little bit bad for him because of that. Well, like you said, he learned nothing, but I guess like I think it wasn't. Yeah, like actually you said it perfectly. He has a Napoleon complex.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Even with all the power in the world, he is still the dwarf in the flask.
Infinite power, tiny little cage. Like
Itty
that.
bitty living space.
I actually like Aladdin. Aladdin's still a good movie.
I do too. I actually do enjoy the live action Aladdin.
Oh, finally, somebody agrees with me.
I like Will Smith as a genie, and I like the subplot between him and between the genie and the handmaid. That was a nice addition. I do wish it went more in like a Bollywood style, like it did at the end, but like there, like it could have definitely used a lot more energy. But overall, I did enjoy it. And I kind of like Jafar's story and motivation in this movie. It's the second best, or not second. It's the third best Jafar I've seen.
Are we counting the one from Prince of Persia?
What? No, no, no.
Are you talking about Twisted as well?
Twisted is the absolute. Twisted is the absolute best Jafar I've seen.
Okay, so if we counted the Jafar from Prince of Persia, he'd be number 4?
Who? The Prince of Persia Jafar would be number 4.
Probably, yeah, fair enough. He only
Which
shows up.
version? The original, the other original, or
Whichever one I played.
Sands of Time.
Sands of Time, yeah, that Jafar. I don't. Was he actually named Jafar?
No, they didn't actually give him a name, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, okay.
So-
I was just calling him Jafar because he looked like Jafar.
No, I was just asking because okay, there's like, there was the PC game with Jafar, and that's why I was asking.
There's so many versions of gosh darn Prince of Persia. It's one of those game series where it's so easy to reboot because you're basically just taking bits and pieces of actual mythology and stapling them together.
You mean like what they're doing now with Assassin's Creed?
My favorite Assassin's Creed is either Brotherhood or Black Flag.
I really like Black Flag.
There's never been a better one than those. Those are both equal in my eyes.
I actually rewatched some cutscenes from Black Flag because I was reading up on pirates from the Caribbean era of piracy, and there was a lot of talk about Black Bart being in Assassin's Creed, and I was like, I totally forgot about that. And it turns out, oh, he's the main antagonist of the game, and I'm like,
Yeah, Dread Pirate Roberts.
yeah, the great Dread Pirate Roberts himself was in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, he was the main antagonist.
Oh, fun fact. He appears in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean video games, voiced by Carrie Elways.
Nice.
Yeah.
Carrie Elways was always my favorite Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah. I mean,
Although,
Inigo Montoya's a good choice, too.
Well, oh yeah, no, he did become the Dread Pirate Roberts after.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Andre the Giant also played a really good Dread Pirate Roberts.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Who was it? Like Big Show that they advertised early on as like the child of Andre the Giant, even though they have like no relationship.
Freddie Savage.
No. So Andre the Giant's a wrestler, as you know, and
Yeah.
after his passing, another wrestler who's known for being
you
really
like that.
big, Big Show, I believe was his name. Part of his billing was that he was supposed to be related to Andre the Giant. They were like the son of Andre the Giant, and it's like they have no relation, as far as I'm aware. Which I thought was interesting. Like, huh?
No, I believe you. I was just like, huh. Like I never heard of that before. That's why I'm just saying, huh. Like
That was his show name was like the Giant or something, and they were like, oh, he's related to Andre the Giant.
No, I mean, yeah, like that sounded weird, but like I get where you're going with it. Like I get where they're going with it, but right now I now remember. I was thinking about you were talking about how pirates wait, were we talking like God?
Black Flag. We were talking about Black Flag. I like that the gentleman pirate is one of the characters in Black Flag. I love the story of the gentleman pirate.
Ah, Steve Bonnet.
Yep.
Steed Bonnet, not Steve.
Yeah, Steed Bonnet.
The Internet Historian video is so good about Steed
It
Bonnet.
is so good. I listened to. So it's one of my favorite internet historian videos. That and the sinking of the Concordia, and the Swedish museum art theft. Those three are amazing.
I actually watched recently his video on DashCon.
Oh
where
yeah.
he even had he even ended it. I have not seen any continuation of that. I do know he did make a continuation, but I just haven't seen it yet. And he even goes in on like all the math he's putting in, and he's even throwing in like 10% just to be generous. There's only like 350 people in this room, and then like the people we at DashCon were like, there's like 5,000 people in this room, and they were rioting, and then they show pictures of the riot, and it's like just people singing "Kumbaya" together. And I thought that was like very funny.
Yeah, and he went into like the math of like to prove that in theory the creator or the organizers still had like 20,000 stored away somewhere.
8,000.
8,000.
They
Right.
lied. They had at least $8,000 in cash kicking around because they could only make like so much money off of the people within the convention.
Tickets. Yeah, the actual ticket sales, and the rest is like door fare.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to do another? Do you think they'll ever do another DashCon?
Hell no.
No,
Hell no,
they made an attempt.
At least Tumblr is never gonna have another DashCon again. However,
there was Fear Festival.
Fire Festival was rich assholes getting their comeuppance essentially, but there is people on Twitter are talking about, like, there are people on Twitter being like, once the pandemic is over, we should have like some kind of get together with all the friends we've made on Twitter. And I'm just sitting back with popcorn waiting for the disaster. I hope someone brings a ball pit.
Oh, hello, Michelangelo. What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
Graf has a cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Graf has a cat named Michelangelo.
Yeah, I have a cat now. We picked him up last week. His name is Michelangelo.
Yeah, you told me about him already. He's cutie.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
Oh.
He's a big kitty.
Do y'all remember when someone photoshopped the DashCon ball pit into Fire Festival?
And news
it
reports.
Was such a good, it was such a good Photoshop that news organizations reported as though it was actually there.
To be fair, if you told me Fear Festival, which is going downhill, also has a ball pit, I would be like, I'm reporting on that anyway, as if it was true, simply because that's good clicks.
Yeah, I love That's also a really good internet historian episode.
Yeah.
The Fire Festival.
Yeah. I like his stuff with with his buddy, whose name.
Oh, like in the quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like those two.
Yeah. Because they got like what's his name again?
It's improv.
Yeah, it's improv. I'm trying to remember the dude's name. It's something with an S.
Are you talking about the damn it! Now I'm blanking on the name. I know exactly the one. He's the one that helped with the Swedish art theft, like providing voices and stuff.
Yeah. I want to say Pseudo, but I know that's wrong. Sumundo?
No, I think Pseudo is actually.
No, I think it's Sumundo.
Let me pull up an In the Quarantine episode. I'll pull up the one on monsters. That's a good one.
Oh, that is a good one, yeah. I love his last one where he's like, why do I have this gun? Bang, 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 bang.
Oh, sorry, someone joined. Fuck, someone already said something. Ness Quicksilver said hello.
Oh, hello. Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
God! Like, sorry, I was so unfocused with
Sumato.
that.
what?
Sumato.
Sumoto. I knew
Yeah.
it was like a sumoto sort of noise.
Yeah, Samuto's a really good co-host. I
He's
love
funny.
the thing I love the most about Internet Historian is his ads because like uh like it's just hilarious. The my favorite ad is the one where it's like, hey, if you got bit by a snake and you were dying, and I had to watch a first aid video, would you let me use NordVPN? JK.
Unless
Unless.
one of my favorites is I'm trying to remember the specifics. It's the one where he's like trying to lose his sponsorship. So he's like, I'm gonna lost losing his sponsorship speed run.
Oh yeah, I think that was the Raid Shadow Legends.
No, that
one.
was NordVPN.
Was it Nord?
He's like NordVPN is known as being one of the calmest, most understanding VPNs for advertisers. I'm gonna lose my sponsorship in 5 minutes or less. Oh, hey Michelangelo, you just like sitting there and looking
Oh
at me.
man, he needs to upload like a compilation of his ads because they're like people would absolutely watch it.
One of my favorites is where he's stalking this lady, and she's like, "I gotta get out of here," and she falls into a snake pit, and he just switches to a really bad Japanese accent. Where he's like, "Oh, snakeu pitu."
Was that Nord or Raid?
I'm pretty sure that was also Nord because he was like, "Oh yes, because she doesn't use NordVPN, I can track her to Japan where she's trying to hide from me." This is my girlfriend. Well, she doesn't know she's my girlfriend, but and I'm not her boyfriend. But
Was it the last one that he did that was like in a nightclub trying to sell VPNs like drugs?
one of my favorites is the one where he's doing like a prank video. And he's like, we're
Oh,
using
yeah.
NordVPN so the cops can't track us. And the dude's like, actually, I didn't turn the VPN on. And then like the end is
Yeah. Oh man, he got so pranked here in the back of this police car or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that was the Monsters episode, that one specifically.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Man, NordVPN needs to sponsor us. I wish they could have sponsored us when we were doing Paper Mario when they tracked text location. Because if you remember, I made a joke about it. And like, just kidding, we're not actually sponsored. You should sponsor us.
I would kill if NordVPN knocked on my door and said, look, we know you're not funny, but we would like you to sponsor us. Oh, I actually have a funny joke right now that I want to tell.
Do you?
Yeah. What did the tailor say to the politician?
What?
What did the tailor say to the politician?
Well, what? I'm curious. What did he say?
Any guesses, Silver?
No, I'm terrible at these.
All right. How would you like to line your pockets?
Oh, that's clever. That's really clever.
Yeah, I get it. So what's the funny joke? I'm sorry, that's mean.
What's the trickiest part about comedy revolving the French royal family?
Getting the heads rolling?
The execution.
Oh. Okay, that one actually is pretty funny.
Okay, that was good. Sorry, I'm not being talkative.
When my father passed away, many years ago, I had to take care of and manage all his affairs. It's amazing how many women he hid from my mother.
I thought you were actually being serious. Yeah.
Unless you are
That-
serious, then
I mean, that would be.
No.
Considering the topic, that is really good dark comedy.
Okay, you okay. What's the difference between dark comedy and morbid comedy? Dark comedy is 10 babies in a dumpster. Morbid comedy is one baby in
One
10
baby in 10
dumpsters.
dumpsters.
Yes.
Yeah, I have heard that one, except it was nailed to a tree.
Fair enough. What's the hardest part about Christian comedy?
The comedy.
Nailing the punchline.
Oh,
Eh,
come on.
this is looking good so far, I will admit.
God, the controls on the Beetle are almost as bad as they were on the Wii. But I think that's intentional since you get an upgrade to get better controls later on.
I always find that so frustrating when games give like you bad controls intentionally, like, oh, here's better controls now if you do well with the bad ones.
Well, the main use of the Beetle is just to essentially retrieve things.
Fair enough.
So it's not necessarily supposed to have good controls. All the upgrades are optional.
Fair enough. Where'd you go, Michelangelo? Are you hiding in the basement again? So here's the thing. The cat managed to so my basement is split in half. Imagine like it's got one room on the left, one room on the right, and the staircase separates the left and the right halves. So right down the middle, with a little landing. And the left side is where I've made my little studio, and the right side is for storage and also the washing machine. And the cat has managed to find a place to hide somewhere between these two areas.
Like at the partition?
Somewhere within the staircase. And I have no idea how or where he's hiding within this section of the staircase, but he's hiding there. And it's
His name is Harry Potter.
well,
He's under the stairs.
Probably.
Yeah.
What,
Don't
what,
actually
what
do
do
that.
you think of those bunny ears?
Let me look. Again. Sorry. Can you show me again?
Yeah, I'm showing it right now on screen.
I
Oh,
don't
you
see the
got
bunny ears.
Yeah, I need to. I'm gonna refresh this.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was looking at the stream. That's why.
Oh
Bunny
yeah,
ears look good. Yeah, the bunny ears look cute.
Oh yeah, they're adorable.
yeah.
Sorry, I was watching the
It-
stream. That's why.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's a bit wonky because like it's attached to this huge ass body, but that's kind of the point. This tiny head on this huge
She
body.
could probably make them longer if she wanted.
Oh, they could touch the sun if she wanted. She can hear what everything going on within her garden.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm just getting tired right now.
Everybody gets tired. It's like what 9:57 at night.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
I got my drink is blocking the clock of my computer, so I have no idea what time it is. I do not have a clock in sight.
Oh, she's got like
Oh,
possum
it's
claws, you know.
Possums are the best. Possums are awesome.
You're just saying that because you want to be a possum.
I do. They have pockets.
Yeah, fair enough. Naturally built-in pockets is what humans should have.
I mean, they do. It's called the foreskin.
yeah.
I'm sorry, that's a terrible joke.
I just realized I don't have enough space for the fingers. Dang it.
You can expand the.
Yeah, give me a second. Big ass hands so she can hold you better.
I'm gonna be so good at hugging after this.
The best hugs. The ones that might curse you.
What is this character for?
So I'm.
Oh.
I don't know if I actually want to explain what I'm doing.
It's basically a mama noodle.
Yeah.
Alright, no, I was just curious. That was all. Like,
I'm working on some redesigns to sort of lean into my own like more original ideas without having to worry about Hasbro breathing down my neck. And part of me is like, oh, if I'm doing redesigns, I might as well redesign this character to fill in like a certain role that I want filled.
I'm just curious. I mean,
I'm not mad. I actually like your question. It's an important one.
I'm. I mean, I was just curious.
Yeah. So you're it's fine. Curiosity's good.
Some people joined. I think there's like 5 people now on the stream.
Oh, that's good.
It's 3 for me.
No, I mean like, I tried to do something original once, but like it was kind of like it didn't end well. But
Originality is very difficult because you'll inevitably face the fact that people don't like things that aren't already popular unless they're like radical hipsters who will like something just because nobody notices it.
Yeah.
And
I've
breaking out
tried-
into the mainstream is very difficult.
Yeah, I've tried multiple times to make. I've had 2 attempts at making games. Really, really hard. I think.
tell me about it. I tried to make a game too. It's hard.
Oh,
I
totally.
mean, I've been. I've gotten as far as making a model and getting it to like being able to get it to run and jump on Unity. Like a 3D model I made, but also it looked terrible because it was the first 3D model I made. And but it also didn't work. It did not have its tail in Unity for whatever reason, and its leg kept sticking, and its legs kept sticking to the ground as it ran, so it looked super weird. Uh,
Oh.
and oh, that's what that is. And
tried
my other attempt was I was able to get a. I actually got. I got enough. It was 2D. I made sprites, running and jumping sprites. But
Sprites
it
are
was,
hard. I did sprite
oh
comics
yeah,
for years.
entire sprite sheets. Like, I'd do that again, but I'm definitely gonna pay someone to make all the sprites, like to make the sprite sheet for that if I do revisit it. It was gonna be like a sort of Metroidvania kind of game, you know, like imagine Dark Souls but 2D. Since Dark Souls is also a very Metroidvania game despite being 3D.
There's like 5 games that are Dark Souls with 2D.
Yeah.
Okay.
Salt and Sanctuary.
Hollow Knight would be a basically, yeah, it was basically gonna be kind of like Hollow Knight, at least in terms of you know,
Presentation.
well, not presentation, but just like in basic, like in that it's yeah, a platformer where your deaths are like remain,
Makes sense.
like your deaths are things that happen. It's not like reloading. It's not reloading. It's an actual thing that happened. Your death is still a death.
Yeah.
Okay, where do I go? I spend way too much time in this room. I need to go this way.
That's the thing I like about Dark Souls, the fact that its narrative heavily includes each of your failed attempts.
Yeah. The plot of mine was basically you want to get to the top of a tree, but to do that you need to go to the 6 different areas and get the power ups there to get further in the in
Like
the tree.
the Impossible Lair from Ukulele.
I haven't actually played that.
Yeah, so the main gimmick of that is you can do the Impossible Lair on your own right from the start, but it's very difficult, and the game intends for you to you to keep dying so that you will eventually start using its power-up system, which is based around collecting these little buggy dudes who act as your shield to survive within the labyrinth.
Oh,
You know.
for mine it was gonna be more like you beat a boss, you get their power up, like you
Mega
get the
Man.
move that. Yeah. Basically, I was thinking more like Metroid, but yeah, no, it'd be kind of like Mega. So I guess it'd be Dark Souls respawning style, Metroidvania map and progression, and Mega Man power up style, I guess.
Makes sense.
Like not a bad combination. Basically, the way it would work is yeah, no, I guess Mega Man would be kind of valid since you'd be able to more or less well not choose which one you want to go. There definitely would be an intended route, but there are some bosses you could do in either order.
So, serious
But
question: how do the legs look? Because I just don't do like tar-like designs that often.
they
So
look good, very thick.
yeah, it's the hind legs that are hard because the hind legs have to be like really thick
Oh
to be
yeah.
seen from the front. So
I was never good.
they feel a bit low. Like you'd think like the tar back would be like more here. Let me just. Wait.
She looks like a Mewtwo on the bottom of her legs.
Mewtwo has a really good design, at least in terms of uh legs. Like Mewtwo is one of the few characters where it's somewhat easy to draw their legs from a front view.
Yeah. Michi is like
You
a
know,
great design in general, like legitimately among
Mewtwo.
Pokemon.
yeah. Did you know that in the original design, Mew and Mewtwo like use their full like feet rather than just the tiptoes?
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, you can still see it in some of the old trading cards.
Makes sense. Back when Pokemon was still not was still kind of fresh and new, my dad went to Japan on a business trip, and when he returned, he had Pokemon trading cards with him. But it was Generation 2, because Generation 2 was being advertised in Japan before it was being advertised in America. So I had a shiny Feraligatr before I even knew what Feraligatr was.
Nice.
I also had a little statue of One Piece, and I had no idea who the fuck Luffy was.
You know what my favorite Pokemon is? Oh wait, hold on. Don't answer that, Scraps. Jack, guess what my favorite Pokemon is based on our interactions today. Guess my top 2 favorite Pokemon.
Gothorita?
Gothlead is
my
good.
guess my top 2.
Okay, I thought Gothorita made sense because I know you liked Vivian. Then probably the other one would probably be Gardevoir.
To be fair, everybody loves freaking Vivian.
No, my well, guess one more Pokemon.
I actually am not really that much of a Pokemon person. I never once past gold I never really focused on Pokemon.
Well, all right.
Can I guess?
Well, I mean that's still valid because it is definitely my top 2 are definitely ones from the first 2 generations.
Can I guess?
You already know it.
I think
Yeah,
I
you can
think
say
I
it,
know
what
it.
is
I
it?
could be wrong. The Togepi line.
Yes, one of them is
Togekiss, you
Togetic.
mean?
No, I hate Togekiss. It's ugly.
Yeah, Togekiss is kind of like not a,
I
not
like Togetic. That Togetic is my top one.
It's a
My
it's a big ass egg.
yeah. I like Togetic. Togetic's my favorite one because it's the. So my first game was Pokemon Silver, and Togepi, like I raised the Togepi up to a Togekiss, and it was the first Pokemon that I actually felt was like mine. Because yeah, there's the ones I was given at the start and the ones that I caught, but Togepi and Togetic, Togetic I raised from an egg. That was my baby. And
Makes
that's
sense.
why Togetic is my favorite. Can you guess my second favorite?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just starting to like droop, and because I'm getting that tired. But I don't know. What would it be? Like,
It's on the box art of the last Pokemon game I bought.
the the dog sword.
No.
Nope.
The last one, Silver bought, Rogue bought. Rogue has not bought Sword and Shield.
Yeah, it's the stuff I've heard about Sword and Shield. It doesn't seem like it would interest me, which sucks because I loved Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon is the first one that I really liked
I,
since since Diamond and Pearl.
I admittedly played through
It's
Sword and
Eevee,
Shield.
by the way.
Oh, Eevee, cutie.
Yeah, I
I
like
played
Eevee.
through Sword and Shield and I struggled with that. Like, not gameplay wise. Gameplay was kind of piss easy. Even though I was like almost intentionally using like types that were unpopular for the generation. Because there are some types where like every enemy is strong against it. Very noticeably steel. Steel types get really shafted in that generation, despite having like so many.
Legendary Steel.
The pseudo legendary, I believe, is.
I thought the legendaries were Steel type.
They might be.
I'm getting a little bit tired, guys. Do you mind if like
Go.
I,
I already told you that if you're tired, you don't have to stick around. You can leave anytime you want.
oh, I
Yeah.
know. I just don't want to be a bad guest. I guess you want to
No,
say.
no, no.
No, no, dude,
This is just casual stuff.
dude. This is all us being like super casual.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not like one of the game live streams where you have to have something going on at all times.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is literally us, just sort of saying whatever comes to mind as as I'm doing art in the background.
Yeah, like
No, no.
I'm playing Skyward Sword as this is happening and keeping an eye on the art.
Yeah.
I know. I guess I just wanna make sure. No, I'm also just a little bit like tired from.
You're over worrying. Don't over worry. So here's something interesting that I actually researched years ago. Never went anywhere with it. But I researched the imperial family of Siam. You know Siam, the small country.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know Sam.
Yeah. Also the setting of The King and I.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like very curious about that for a while. And apparently they have a sword, an imperial sword that was supposedly fish out of a lake. And when it was brought to the imperial city to be given to the king as a gift for his coronation, 7 bolts of lightning struck nearby towers simultaneously, all across the city.
Hmm.
So it was considered a divine sign of favor for the king. That's interesting.
Yeah, no, that does. That does. I was just curious. That's all.
Well,
Um,
my only opinion on that is that strange women lying in pods distributing swords is no basis for a government.
Yeah, you heard it here, folks. King Arthur is a fraud.
Didn't vote for him.
Yeah, I didn't vote for him. Did the Queen of England vote for him? Did you know she has that if King Arthur shows up, she has to surrender the throne of England to him?
really? Okay.
Yeah, because he'd be the rightful heir.
Yeah, King Arthur's the rightful king of England. If he shows up, they're supposed to surrender the crown to him.
Yeah.
No. This is just reminding me of that Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider story where that case, like the truth of King Arthur and stuff like that, and like they found King Arthur's sword, and it was completely different from like the actual what people thought. It was like more like Mayan designed.
Yeah, Tomb Raider has a really bad habit of doing that kind of thing with like Mayan and Aztec shit.
No, no, that's why like I just thought oh, and there was like a whole thing when we were talking about like there was like a nerd character that was helping out with the group, and it's like that's not how fucking King Arthur worked. And he's like nitpicking all like everything wrong with the lore of King Arthur.
In
He's,
Tomb
like,
Raider?
saying, yeah, Tomb Raider. Like there was like a whole scene with like he's saying that's not how it worked.
Well, how would he know how it worked?
He wasn't
Because
there.
because he was a huge nerd of Tomb Raider. Because he was
I know, but if the sword was nothing like any of the descriptions, then how can he trust anything that he's read?
Here's the thing. Was he Merlin? Was he the dope who showed up and said, "You're the king now"? No. We can't trust anything he says.
Well, I think it was this was more like he was annoyed with like how modern King Arthur stories told things. It was supposed to be that type, like a parody slash like joke on like King Arthur stories as a whole.
My favorite King Arthur story is the Disney one, and the squirrel really should have been made human.
That squirrel girl, really cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the fan comic someone made of her turning into a human, and
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Let's just say I know what you're talking about, and I think that was really animated well. But yeah,
I don't think that we're talking about the same thing because I was talking about a fan comic, not anything
It
animated.
was drawn really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
So
I don't think you do because you're being very dodgy about it, and I'm talking about one where it was just cute pics of like him teaching her how to be a human, and you're acting like it's something completely different.
The thing I read was a porno, so
Yeah, that's what I figured.
definitely. Not.
That's not the one I'm talking about. I haven't seen that one.
I thought it was kind of funny at the end, like the plot twist at the end.
Yeah,
no,
let's not talk about porn.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the. I'm talking about the.
being like,
I'm talking about the comic where he's like teaching her how to like eat at a table, and then Merlin teaches her how to do magic and stuff.
Some people get really.
Then that was completely my fault. Sorry.
Yeah.
God, I'm so
Don't worry. God, I'm trying to remember. There was something that was on my mind like a second ago, and I can't recall what it was. Oh yes, so I've been continuing to watch the Disney Hercules show. From yeah, and one thing I noticed, and I thought it was very weird, considering the fact that they get like so many other bits of history like accurate, is that they keep referring to Hades as Zeus's younger sibling.
Well, no, Zeus is the absolute youngest because
I
he's the one that was. Zeus is the youngest of all the children of Kronos because he's the one. Like he was the one where Kronos's wife was like, "Okay, he's eaten like 12 of my kids. I'm gonna give him a rock this time."
Yeah, and I was like, that is such a weird detail, considering they really showed their research in a lot of other scenes. They had the main characters are Cassandra of Troy, Icarus, and Hercules. They even have like some Amazon characters running around too. They have Adonis as like the school bully, so they really do know what they're talking about. They're just it's like just this weird thing that the one detail that they most insisted on breaking
that completely takes you out of it. I know exactly what you mean because there's something in Black Widow that completely took me out of the movie because it's just one detail. Right there in the beginning.
I mean, the rest of the show is like really good. They have a lot of really good scenes. Apollo was voiced by Goliath from Gargoyles, or you might know him better as Shadow Man from Princess and the Frog.
Oh, Dr. Facilier.
Yeah, Keith Davids.
God damn it! I hate
He-
this fight because I have no idea how I've beaten this game. I still have no idea how to fight this boss,
I,
and you fight him 3 times.
oof. I absolutely love Keith Davids. He has such a great voice.
Yeah, he is
Oh,
actually. a good
is it
voice.
Keith Davids or Keith Richards?
I know that he was like in a God, I just remembered a really bad movie he was in. You guys ever heard Tales of the Crypt?
Oh man, are you talking about Bordello of Blood?
Bordello of Blood.
It was a Tales of the Crypt TV movie about vampires running a
Oh wait, no, I'm
brothel.
thinking about Tales from the Hood. That was the movie.
Oh, yeah, no, Tales of the Crypt is something completely different.
Yeah, no. Again, I was like tired. My brain was like derping. But okay, so Keith David was actually an actor in Tales from the Hood.
Not surprising. A lot of actors usually start in something they're not proud of.
No. Like this was way after Spawn and shit like that. And
Was he in Spawn?
Yeah, he was the voice actor of Spawn.
You know who my favorite character in Spawn is? John Leguizamo.
Spawn.
Spawn is the assassin who got horribly burnt and sent to hell and came back as a
Yeah,
so that he could get revenge.
I know,
It
but
had
I'm
John
like,
Leguizamo playing a clown.
but I don't think that's him. That sounds so weird. I'm like, I'm trying to think, and I'm like, no, that can't be
He
him.
was a voice actor in like freaking Mortal Kombat. He made a
He,
cameo.
I
in
mean,
Mortal
he's
Kombat.
a voice actor, but Spawn was a live action movie.
Yeah.
I'm talking. Okay, in the animated series, Spawn was voiced by.
There was an
David-
animated Spawn series?
Yeah, it was really good.
I didn't know that. I thought you were talking about the live action movie. That's why I mentioned John Leguizamo.
No. Like it was a really good series. Like Keith David was the main thing, and it actually showed like some really good scenes that represented like, actuals like. They actually made John Leguizamo really scary.
Oh, you mean the one that came out like last year?
There
What?
was a Spawn movie that came out, or a Spawn
No, that
series.
came out. No,
Yeah, the animated series, an adult action superhero that aired. Oh no, wait. Todd McFarlane Spawn. 1997? Seriously?
yeah,
Wild. Okay.
it's a good series. Well, yeah, okay, the first couple of episodes were a good series. Then they said supposedly it started getting bad, but
No, there's 18 episodes total.
yeah, but they said that some of the beginning episodes, were really good, and Keith David voiced Spawn, and it was so good that Keith David voiced Spawn again in Mortal Kombat 11.
Not surprised. Keith David is Keith David right there. Yeah, Keith David. He was in They Live, Pitch Black, The Chronicles of Riddick, Armageddon, and he's been in Mortal Kombat 11, The Princess of the Frog. He's the main.
He was in Armageddon?
Yeah, everybody's in Armageddon, man. Everybody. He was himself in the
Armageddon.
Saints Row series. He was the Arbiter in the Halo series. Seriously? Wow.
That's new, actually.
Yeah, he was the Arbiter in Halo. No wonder that sounds familiar. He was Goliath in Gargoyles. He was a character in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And he's Reverse Giraffe in Rick and Morty. He's also the president.
Yeah, but I just remembered what I was about to say. So, you guys ever heard of the movie series Tales of the Hood from the Hood?
Nope.
Nope, completely new to me.
All right. Okay. So the first movie was okay. So the movie series is like a short anthology series that talks about. God, what's
Come
It's
on.
like it talks about black commentary, black political what they say, like what's wrong with the black community. Like some examples they said was they felt like they focused on gang wars and stuff like that. But like the first one that was critically acclaimed because of how like it was a mixture of something that respected the topics and stuff like that, and like they also it made it seem like also that even if one main characters like even when it talked about black characters, it didn't like say like oh like black community wasn't that great like in certain aspects like gang violence. It's not just white people's fault. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. My main point is that Keith David played as the devil in the sequel, and it was not really good because of how it was too on nose with its political messages. So, okay, so like the main bad guy or the like, they always focus on Keith David sending one person to hell. So like, the main villain of this one is Dumas Beach.
That's a stupid name.
So he was like, we're Americans, like they were just being blunt with like, oh, we need to make absolute sure our country is safe from these Negroes and like tell these stories to our robot to shoot these guys to know where to shoot. And Keith Davis like, well, you want me to tell you some stories about this robot to this robot about gang violence? And it's like, yes, because America. And it's like, all right. And then like and then at the end, the robot just like shoots everyone, like shoots all the like business people because like they were like, oh, you guys are worse than America. You're worse than America, and you're not missing anything. But like Keith David actually does a good impression, like good job in it. I'll give you a clip on it.
Quick question.
You lost me like 5 minutes ago. I completely lost track.
Okay, quick question. Look at the stream.
Oh, Fluffy.
Yeah, should I do the pink lore fluff or not? I'm trying to decide. I'm actually kind of mixed on it.
Margaret fluff.
Nah, I think it looks better without the lower fluff.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that it's distracting. I might actually make some fluff around like the middle ring or something when I do like the side view, but definitely not here. Yeah, that definitely seems distracting.
Yeah.
Might just be how I drew it like really crappily, so that could just be me.
Oh,
doing
she's a
confirmation.
tar.
Yeah, I decided to make her a tar this time.
Nice.
Why?
Bigger pocket.
I figured it'd be interesting to. Okay, so when I'm doing like my rewrites, I'm making her the mother of all monsters more pronounced. So I figured making her like body type noticeably different would make her seem more important.
Yeah.
I found a clip of the movie I was talking about. Like one of the few good parts of the movie. This is like the only part that saves the movie. You want me to skip to the part that's good, or you want to watch the whole thing?
Nah, I think we're not. Neither of us is watching this. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I'm playing Skyward Sword. I just finished the first dungeon. I'm also keeping an eye on the stream.
Yeah, I'm too busy drawing to entertain the stream to really watch anything.
Yeah, we'll watch it after the stream and stuff probably.
Yeah.
This looks good. Your art's good. God, now I'm getting tired. Your art's really good. I admit that. Like, I'm actually kind of I'm jealous of artists because like I can't draw.
You want to know my take? When a lot of people say they can't draw, I I feel bad because, and I'm not like one of those people who's like, oh, anybody can draw. I'm like, yeah, definitely. There's like a time and patience
Yeah.
required to draw that a lot of people don't have. That's why not everybody's a Renaissance painter.
Yeah.
A lot of Renaissance painters had some degree of financial backing well before they were Renaissance painters.
Yeah.
Uh, most of them are already well-educated people. Like, let's be honest, Da Vinci did not come off the streets.
Yeah, no, he was already like a well-known scientist before his painting. Like he already learned a decent grasp of anatomy. He bought corpses from he bought corpses in order to study the anatomy
Yep.
in for his sciences.
Yeah. So there are when I feel like sad for a lot of people who say they don't draw, I feel like partially because they never made the time investment, and partially because they might just never have had the time investment to make. But also because they don't, they just sometimes feels like they don't understand that they also have skills that I don't have. Like I cannot play guitar.
Yeah, like and
I'm sorry.
even within the art, like I've been drawing like dedicated drawing for about like only a decade. It's been longer than a decade. It's probably been more like 15 years that I've been drawing, but uh it's only been like dedicated drawing uh for a decade. And even so, I had avoided backgrounds for the longest time because I felt that I could not adequately do them until I finally unlocked the fuck it phase where it's just like fuck it, it's gonna be like if it's bad, it's bad. I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a shot. And I just had that mindset where I just drew like I went and drew with horrible backgrounds and eventually the backgrounds stopped being horrible because I got better. Like this is let me show you something I made recently and I'll
There's this idea that a lot of people have that when they start drawing, they'll be drawing like other people. That's why a lot of artists hate their own work. Because it's something they did. They know their limitations. They know their strengths. They know how where they've been, where they're going. And a lot of the times, a lot of artists are like, "Oh, I can see that I've fucked up." Uh,
No, they said that the reason why I wouldn't be a good drawer is because they said that I am very spastic, and because of that, that's going to fuck up my drawing style.
oh, that's stupid.
Who told you this? The god
Mother.
did your mother, of course. Um,
Look,
don't, don't listen to your parents whenever it comes to stuff you want to do. They have the worst advice because they think they know what's best for you when like
look,
more often than not.
I can tell you right now, nobody's parents have ever approved of anything they've ever done. There are people with like so many mental disorders are famous artists. There are blind people who are artists. Somebody who tells you you can't be an artist because you have spastic tendencies is not only wrong, but they don't understand art. They don't. Like they legitimately don't. Because art is an expression. Art is literally you putting time and effort onto a page. And even if it's spastic, even if you like, look, I'm going to do this right now, and you're going to watch and behold, and you're going to be like, oh, that's art? That can't be art. Look.
It's subjective.
No.
Yeah, let me try to pull a picture from
no, it's fine. I'm fine.
my,
I'm.
no of my backgrounds back in uh oh god, this was a horrible background. This one will be good. This is I'm pulling up a background from 2018.
No, it's fine. Really.
I'm removing certain things since I just want to get the background. Uh, Here it is.
Oh, dang it.
This is a background from 2018 that is of similar subject to the other background that I sent you.
Look at this. I am doing basically scribbles on canvas. And look, someone out there will look at this and be like, that's art. That's
Yeah.
art. I understand what it's trying to tell me. Somebody's going to art is so subjective. And all I did was wave my hand up and down
Yeah.
with my brush.
Uh, the reason there's also the thing about like part of the reason why modern art is garbage is because it's entirely like modern art like you see in modern art museums is entirely, well, not entirely, but is mostly a scam to get tax write-offs for billionaires, where basically a billionaire will overpay an artist to do something really quick and then have an appraiser friend over appraise it so that they can donate and get a tax write off for it. That's why you get things where like the entire canvas is one shade of orange, like
Behold.
with a single black line, because it was a scam to get a tax write off.
Behold. Art. I have signed it. It is mine. You can put a goddamn toilet in a museum and it's considered art. The Sparrows Over Swine was making jokes years ago about how art is so subjective. A character literally becomes a janitor in an art gallery, leaves their mop behind, and somebody
know the
appropriates it
exact
as
one.
yeah. You know exactly which one it is.
Yeah, because the mop's in the corner, and then someone's like, "Oh, it represents the futility of trying to clean up the corruption of the country," or some shit like
yeah,
that.
they get like really into it, and he's like, and and he's
but
like,
the
that's
important
my
thing-
mop, and they're like, oh, it's your mop, it's my mop, it's our mop. The whole world
Yes.
may share this mop. He's like, no, I put it there, and I'm like, the artiste.
Yes, I think we talked about that in the stream, like in one of the streams.
It's such a
I
comment.
know we've talked about it in one of our streams before.
We must have. It's literally
Absolutely, because I remember you saying, the artiste. Like, exactly the same.
when I was a kid. That was the formative revelation for me. Going, that's what art means to people. And then I became an art snob, and then I realized, and then years later I realized, wait a minute, I've become the very thing that that was mocking.
You need to watch Velvet Chainsaw.
That was a good horror movie.
Yeah, Scraps hasn't seen it yet, and
Supposedly the creator at the end, the whole there's a scene like so.
Scraps
the
hasn't.
director, the
Scraps,
director.
hold on, Scraps hasn't seen it, and I really want Scraps to see it.
Well, can I talk about what the director
No.
has in mind?
No.
Alright.
I'm one of those phonies who like to go into things knowing as little as I can about it, so that when it blows my mind, it blows my mind organically.
Yeah, me too. That's why I had that's why I avoid even like I had no idea what Luca was about other than fish people. Like I had no idea what the plot would be. I had no idea anything other than it's a person who can turn into a fish in water.
Yeah.
Like that's
Technically, Disney
all
did
I-
that twice. Like this is the second time Disney ever did that. Do a movie about, a story about a guy who can turn into like a fish. That was a Disney Original Channel movie.
Yeah, I know. The 13th Year.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite Disney Channel original movies, right up there with Minutemen and Luck of the Irish.
Look at the Irish is great.
Luck of the Irish is great. Also, Minuteman, is, oh my god! I rewatched Minuteman a couple weeks ago, and it is really good. Like it still holds up really well.
I remember the advertising for that one way back when I was a kid. And I was like, I really want to see Minutemen, and then I saw Minutemen, and I was like, oh, that's actually pretty decent. And
Yeah.
that was, and to be fair, that was when I was like a teen, and I was like going through my phase where everything sucked. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like
But-
fun to like just turn your brain off.
Oh yeah, but Minuteman has it's got a cohesive plot. It's got likable, well, quote unquote likable. It's got, now when I say likable, I mean as the character they are fun to watch.
Yes.
Like a likable character doesn't necessarily mean a good character or a character that you like. It means a character that is fun to watch. Azula is a likable character, and she is a really fun character to hate. Like she is an amazing antagonist, and I love her as an antagonist.
I just
And
realized
What?
Mom Noodle doesn't have horns. What should I do?
Big horns right behind the hair. What kind of horns does she have in the rest?
She doesn't.
Oh, maybe that could be something to set her apart.
I never gave her horns to begin with. Fair enough. That could work.
Yeah.
She's already got like some unique stuff already going on. She doesn't
Yeah.
need horns.
Maybe her horns are her bangs. Her bangs are horns all along.
Yeah, that. Or I was gonna make a joke saying you could put the horns on her legs or something.
Horns at the end of her hands.
That's
I
what
believe they're
claws
called
are
claws.
called. Yeah, claws.
So in the newest episode of Critical Role, there was a funny part where it was like, one of the characters used like I think it was like called Primal Savagery or something like that, and it was like you watch as her horns grow longer and she grows fangs out of her fingers, and the other's like, wait, fangs out of her fingers? So she's like, no, I mean, okay. I had a blank there. Forgot the word. Claws. Her claws grow. It was like thing. Just fucking hilarious. I love Critical Role.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, Jack. Did you see the 2 pictures I sent?
I thought they were good.
Yeah. I mean, the bottom one's not good, but top
I
one.
thought it was good. Better than one I could draw.
You know, I just remembered, and this is so weird because it has nothing to do with anything we've been talking about. But have any of you seen Monk?
Yeah,
Oh man, it's
I
been
remember that.
years
Why?
since I never finished it, but I used to love that show.
The ending's not
exists-
great, but
Oh yeah, I think you mentioned that, but not like the specifics because I
yeah.
didn't want spoilers because I do plan on watching it, like binging it someday, but
I don't think Monk has like a great ending, but like one episode that stuck with me is this episode where he attends a university and he's pretty sure it's this guy who killed the teacher, but he can't prove it until he realizes
right.
he killed her.
He was like 30 years old and wearing makeup. No, I'm thinking of Psych.
Yeah, he killed her the night before and then hoisted her body up on top of the clock tower so that when the clock tower rang a certain time, the body would fall off.
And then that's why he also he said that's like his excuse of how can I be at 2 places at once?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought you were I almost thought you were almost going to talk about that scene where he was in New York and okay, so there was a part I just remember there was a part where
The one where they switched the bodies in the grave, the chess episode.
There was a really good scene where in New York they were talking about that they found his killer, but theoretically he already got out due to serving time, but with a different thing. So Monk couldn't legally and plus also he was on death row. He was dying. So Monk was trying to say you took so much for me, and there was
Are you talking about the last episode? Because that sounds like
that was definitely not the last episode.
No, the last episode is a lot
okay.
weirder.
I think I thought you were gonna talk about the chess episode where the reason why they couldn't find any poison after exhuming the body that had been dead for like 10 years. Monk figured out that, oh, he's a chess expert. He probably swapped the bodies, just like or no, it was when he was playing chess with the guy, and the guy did the castling move, and he realized, oh, he swapped the bodies, and so then they found the original body, found that it was poison, and like the killer's first wife died of poisoning. They were trying to solve the second wife's murder, uh, but the guy had cremated the second wife, so they had to find um,
The
the
first
body
wife.
of the first wife, and he tracked down who it had been swapped with.
So here's a fun story. When I was in the asylum for a very brief stay, uh, it's not a fun story, but while I was there, they had true crime stuff on TV. And one of the crimes was about this wife who was like overworking herself to death, and she was starting to bawl because of the stress. And then they reveal that
Was it poison in the coffee pot?
he was poisoning her coffee. The husband. He was pouring bleach into her coffee and was making her hair fall out. And apparently he had tried this with his previous ex-girlfriend, and she called up the studio being like, "Wait a minute, this is I know what happened. He killed her using bleach, what he tried to kill me with."
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be a different thing where it was. So there was this one guy who was trying to poison his wife with either cyanide or arsenic. I don't remember, but he was terrible at the dosing. He was trying to do it slowly so that there wouldn't be any trace.
Mm.
But what he ended up doing was causing her to build an immunity to it. So she survived when he put a bunch of it in like the pasta, and but the person that but yeah,
He
so
ended up
she ended
dying.
up well she ended up surviving because she had built up an immunity because he was trying to slowly poison her, but when it wasn't going as fast as he like if when it wasn't working the way he wanted it, he tried to do a much higher dose by poisoning her pasta, which she survived because
She
you
built up an
know
immunity.
yeah, she built up an immunity. And so they were able to because she survived, they were able to catch him, and they tested her blood and quickly. Well, they didn't even need a warrant. They got her permission to search the house for any kind of thing,
Yeah, makes sense.
because it's really hard to commit a murder when your victim doesn't die.
Yeah.
Uh, it's also the same kind of. Well, no, it's not the same reason why uh, Rasputin survived the poisoning. But
His was different. Apparently,
yeah,
his
a
stomach
chemical
acids.
reaction with the frosting of the cake caused it to become inert.
No, I thought it was. He had a unique stomach disease that makes it hard for him to digest food, which which made it inactive when cyanide. So the idea is that cyanide is supposed to react with the stomach, and that's what kills you. But because he had this disease, it was difficult for his body to process the cyanide and cause the reaction needed. So it just like
Oh.
it would have passed out of his system as like a really nasty shit later.
I always read that it was that the cyanide had reacted with the frosting and became inert because like it had it had like some weird kind of it was made with something. I don't want to say baking soda because I don't think baking soda will fix cyanide, But it was made with something that ended up mixing with the cyanide and causing it to become uh, essentially harmless.
Mm,
Well, not harmless, but not as potent.
yeah.
Uh, and then he got shot.
And
But
then he died of the common cold.
well, he died of hypothermia after being tossed in the river.
Fair enough.
And then when they burned his body, his muscles contracted, causing his corpse to sit up.
I love that bit of trivia.
Yeah. Oh man, I love how interesting Rasputin is, because he wasn't like he wasn't actually smart or charismatic. Well, I guess he was charismatic, but he wasn't handsome. He smelled like a goat because he didn't
Yeah.
wash.
He managed to get pretty far for a man who, by all rights, most people would have gone like, "Who the fuck is this?"
I mean, to be fair, it's the same kind of thing that happened with Diogenes. You know, he was completely unwashed, and by all accounts, was I don't know. I like Diogenes because he gave zero fucks. So he was given like some like the emperor, or not emperor, but some high-ranking politician tried to like get him to do something. He's like, look, I'm like the most powerful person in the city at the moment. I can grant you any wish if you just do this for me. And he's like, any wish? Yes, any wish. Okay, I wish for you to step out of my sunlight. Or maybe it was like, I wish for you to. No, it was, I wish for you to step 2 feet to the left and give me some shade. Or something like that. It was one of the two. It was really, really sassy.
This is also the guy who famously, when Alexander the Great came to town, he was like,
You can't spit.
he was playing with bones, and Alexander was
Oh.
like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm trying to find your father's bone, but I can't distinguish it from that of this slave."
Oh yeah, he hated the nobility. Like he was invited to a dinner, but he was told he can't spit on the floor. And like spitting was even more common than it was like in the 1800s. Like the only reason spitting went out of like public spitting went out of fashion is because of tuberculosis.
Mm.
That's a fact. Like spitting was very common, but it was outlawed during tuberculosis. During the time tuberculosis was spreading, because it was a way to quickly spread it.
Fair enough.
So the noble was like, "Hey, don't spit on the floors." It was like, "All right, I'll spit on your face then." That's where the quote, "In a rich man's home, there's no place to spit but his face."
Makes sense.
Uh, I love Diogenes.
Yeah.
He lived in a box.
It was a barrel.
Essentially. Oh, it was a barrel.
Yeah.
I mean, a barrel is just a box that's round.
Fair enough.
You doing okay, Jack?
You fall asleep, or you?
I'm just a little bit tired, but I just want to keep on giving you guys support.
No. You can go sleep. You do not need to
Yeah.
support us. At this point, I think if you're running out of fumes, look, the saying is, sleep is for the weak. So if you're feeling weak, go to sleep.
All right.
It,
Thank
it,
you guys for. I know. I also kind of. Hold on. Let me just. Thank you though for inviting me. I hope I get
No
invited
problem.
again some other time. I'll see you guys later.
See ya. Ta-da! She's almost done. I'm trying to think if I need to throw in like any patterning or something. I keep swapping back to this. I should either save this or dump this. What do you think?
what?
My swirls.
Twirls?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm watching the stream itself. The Discord stream doesn't seem to.
Yeah, I keep hitting the farthest right, which is the Mom Noodle reference sheet, but right now it's this.
Oh yeah, you should probably get rid of that.
Yeah.
You should save it and then get rid of it.
I don't know. Maybe I could send this to an art gallery. Like, look at me, I'm a genius.
I mean, it couldn't hurt.
And I probably have to make like an actual painting. No, I'll save it anyway. It was a fun experiment. Of just doodles with color. Doodles with color in G minor. That's how I roll. You can't see it, but I'm just flashing like two peace signs, and I'm leaning in my chair, and I'm just, the thug life thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I gotta like the main colors. I even changed her eye color to be more like that of Scraps and Stitches.
Yeah.
Use
I
that.
like it.
Yeah. There we go.
Mom Noodle is cute.
Yeah, I like her design. She stands out. People keep saying, like, "Oh, I love her design."
It is a good design. I like the llama neck.
Yeah, the llama neck was fun. The llama neck is way less emphasized in this redesign, but I might re-emphasize it later.
She could probably change its
Girthiness.
length at will.
Oh yeah, she can like stretch her head out to like spy on you.
Yeah. Just like stretch it like 100 feet.
You're in the middle of like a combat tutorial, and she stretches her head in, and that's how she gives
Yeah,
advice.
she just pokes out of a hole like that one, like the fucking Jabberwock looking thing from Dark Souls.
Nah, she just pokes her head out like like lesser dog, greater dog. Which one is it,
Yeah,
lesser dog or
that would
greater?
all.
Yeah, like greater
Yeah.
dog. She just pops her head out, and then she just like zooms back and forth. Greater dog has
Yeah.
gone where no dog has ever gone before.
Yeah, I love Greater Dog.
Yeah, I do like that after a while.
Undertale
Combat
is
just...
such a great game.
Undertale is great. As someone who's never played it, but I have seen like enough playthroughs that I know exactly where it goes. I'm trying to decide if I want to like work on the reverse side right now. Give me a second. I'm just gonna.
What if she has a second pair of wings on her torso back?
Yeah, probably that's cute.
Yeah, two sets of wings.
Yeah, I'm doing a size comparison here. Give me a second.
I like her arms. They look like great bappers. Big old bappers.
Makes sense. How's that for a size comparison?
But I'm still waiting for the stream to catch
Fair
up.
enough.
Oh yeah, that is a really good. That's a great size comparison. Just big enough to ride on her back.
Yep.
Or fit in her pocket. Her pouch.
Okay, I'm just gonna scooch this off to the side to take up less space. No, can't really do that. I'm just gonna save as its own layer. Boom. Save. There we go. Boom. And before I forget, right at the top, at the top, right at the top, right at the top, at the top. Where did I put it? Is it right here? Oh, there we go.
Boom. Before I forget. Ta-da! This has been a fun stream.
Has been.
Let me stretch. Trying to decide if I want to continue drawing with like other projects or if I just want to like say I'm done streaming for the night.
You done streaming for the night?
Yeah, I think I'm done streaming for the night. I might work on my own on some other stuff art-wise later, but like I think the stream has left me.
Alright. Makes sense. It's like 10 in at night where I am.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn on some music and let the noise take me. Actually, I'm realizing that I probably made that a bit too big. There we go. Well, whatever. It's too late for that. Thank you all for coming, and have a good night.
Yeah.